I'm guessing since you're taking this course, you don't need to be convinced that building a culture of experimentation and learning is a good thing. You already understand it's going to foster innovation, drive efficiency, and help organize great launches of great products. Now, one of the biggest challenges in any change management effort, right, not just around experimentation, but any change management effort, is overcoming resistance to change, right? People can be hesitant to try new things, especially when it involves stepping out of their comfort zone. Experimental design and the accompanying statistics can seem a bit daunting to folks, so not typically in the comfort zone material, right? So therefore, at a high level, much of your job as a builder of a culture of experimentation is making people comfortable with experimentation. Now, a strategy I've used in the past to really great success is to use the technology adoption curve. Experimental design is a methodological technology. Just like with any new technology, there's a natural adoption curve to it, right? It's not just like nobody's using it, flick a switch, everybody's using it. You've got innovators, you've got early adopters, you've got early majority, late majority, and you've got laggards. Now, if you're starting from scratch, find the experimentation innovators in your organization, right? There are already people thinking about it, if not already running experiments on their own. Find them. Get them to help you find and bring in early adopters, okay? So early adopters are people willing to go out on a limb a bit if you're able to make a decent case for experimentation. You won't necessarily need direct proof points, just really a sound rationale. If it takes any more than that, they're probably not actually early adopters. Now, take some time to build up some proof points, right? When you've got those early adopters on board, do that. You don't need to put a bunch of energy into expanding the experimentation community at this time. If it grows a bit organically, great, awesome, that's wonderful. But your efforts should really be on building up the proof points, right? So that means getting some experiments run and looking for a way to quantify their positive impact on the project. If you can get that done for, say, 3 experiments, right, plus or minus, you really should be in a great spot. Use those experiments, those 3, to create mini case studies. I'm talking 1 or 2 paragraphs, ideally with a graphic or 2. State the problem, lightly explain the experimental approach, and end with the positive impact, right? It's basically a marketing sheet, if you will. You do not need to build a massively persuasive argument. Remember, we're working along the technology adoption curve, and the next folks, that's the front end of the early majority, right? They need proof points to get on board, but they're not going to be approaching it with like just this initiative to like tear down the proof points, right? That's not what they're looking to do. They're almost ready to get on board, but they just need a little bit of proof. So as the early majority starts to run experiments, you should probably step back a little and let things start to grow organically. Just feed that growth by doing just a couple of things. 1, ensure that people running experiments have a good way to share their learnings with others. And 2, encourage collaboration. Someone who has helped a colleague run an experiment is much more likely to run an experiment themselves. Aside from feeding the growth, you'll need to continue to be a champion for experimentation in the organization. Although it's really actually more like an ambassador to experimentation, the name champion can indicate a bit of like in your face, which you don't want. You don't want posters on the walls. You don't want to force people into doing experiments. Those things just scream fake change, and people don't want anything to do with fake change. You want real change that's substantial, right? Awesome. So instead, it's going to take ensuring folks to really get the experimental know-how, whether it's through training or some other learning process.